Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Yeah. Come on, rise up to your feet and put your hands together for Ridiculous!
When Ridiculous was coming to an end, many thought that we'll never experience any other show like that. But in 2008, one show changed people's perception. The show was Churchill live comedy show, and the man behind this masterpiece just like his predecessors, he was funny but different as he performed stand-up comedy. Every time he performed, he had the crowd in stitches. It wasn't just his jokes, it was his charisma and his ability to connect with the audience on a level that transcended words alone. CNN classified him as one of Africa's funniest comedians, but things were quite different when he first took to the stage. In fact, his first performance was so bad that he had to be stopped straight away and his microphone was switched off. He left the stage and promised himself never to do comedy again. But he went back, and with perseverance, encouragement, and a lot of practice, he understood the comedy world and rose to become the comedy industry's messiah. Love or hate him, this man runs Kenyan comedy. He is the father of comedy. He has mentored and nurtured several comedians like Eric Omondi, Ayeya, MC Jesse, Ohagonyiro, the late Otholo Thwol, Eddie Butita, Mamito, and many other comedians. Many people have no clue where Churchill came from, and instead think that whatever he has achieved was an overnight success. But it took him more than 8 years to be an overnight success. And it was 8 years of hard work, rejections, self-doubt, and of course prayers. So let's begin this heartbreaking story from his early childhood days. Remember to like this video, comment below, and subscribe if you enjoy this content.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Churchill!
Kwa mwenye kiti, mwenye meza, mwenye sakafu na hata mwenye mabati. Jina langu ni John Kihara kutoka Kiharu constituency na wala sijakura Kiwaru. Na nimekuja hapa kana mnasi.
Daniel Ndambuki, famously known as Churchill, was born on 30th October 1977. He was born in Kitui Town, but his parents later moved to Machakos. He discovered his passion for making people laugh at an early age. He used to entertain his family and friends. Little did he know that these moments will shape his future and pave the way for a remarkable career in comedy. Little is known about his early primary school days, but the information that I was lucky to get is that he studied at Momboni High School, located in Machakos County. It initially was a mixed boarding school until 2005 when the girls were moved to form Momboni Girls High School. Besides entertaining his family and friends, Churchill was a gifted footballer, and it's through football that he got to attend high school as Coca-Cola paid for his high school fees. After his O-levels in 1995, Churchill was headed for a career in football, but that never happened. He played as a midfielder and got a golden opportunity to play for Kenya's under-20 and under-17. And as expected, the officials did other things with the money meant to develop young talents. He also played for a local football team in Ukambani.
I was going to be a footballer.
Wacha.
Yeah.
What position?
Position number 7. Nilikuwa nakata watu kutoka wing ya kushoto na kwenda pale chenga kama sikilizaji. And
Wacha.
I used to love football.
I played 11.
Really?
Left.
Left. Let me cross pale hivi kichwa. Yeah, I used to love football, even in school. And that's how I got to go through my high school level. Because Coca-Cola came and used to pay my school fees. Because of football. I used to play for a local football team. Ukambani.
Wacha.
Ilikuwa inaitwa Coke.
He really wanted to advance his football career, but sadly, he got an injury on his right leg and couldn't continue playing football.
I was not bad. I was supposed to go to the US for scholarship. Mpira. Muguu ikaumia, the right one.
It was disheartening that his dream to advance in football was shattered and was left with nothing to hold on to. Luckily, his cousin Faith Obunde, who later became the director of Word of Faith Center Uganda, had a plan. All the time, she believed that Churchill was wasting his time playing football because football was not really paying. So she had him studying the Bible at the Word of Life College in Kabete. Churchill studied theology and specialized in matters of the youth. Unlike football, theology took him places. He became a Sunday school teacher at the Kenya Assemblies of God Church in Buruburu and also worked as a youth counselor. He was putting his acquired spiritual knowledge into use, molding children and the youth into God-fearing souls. He won a scholarship to hone his theology at the Moody Bible College in Chicago in the USA, but that never materialized because regrettably, his family and the village couldn't raise the money for the airfare. But such is life. He had no other option but to stay in Kenya and turn to hustling, just like every other Kenyan living in Nairobi. Life was tough. He was now living in a tiny room in Makongeni in Nairobi. The room cost 500 Kenyan shillings a month and was shared with 5 other people. As a result, sleeping was a hassle. You could sleep, but there was no turning. He did menial jobs. Every morning, he would head for Nairobi's industrial area to clean bottles and heave timber, and was only paid 115 shillings a day.
Back when you're in industrial area.
Yeah. Yes. Industrial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kufanyia muhindi kazi.
Yeah. Getting 115 shillings per day. Na wewe tafanya kazi leo, Wednesday hapana takaona wewe. Kijana anakuja mwaga hii nafanya hapana iko ta. Wewe kazi iko ya nyanya yako ama iko ya nani?
Jobs are not always forthcoming, and to eat, you had to be friends with the roadside food woman or Mama Chapo. So how did Churchill move from industrial area to entertainment, and in this case, comedy? Churchill's entry into the industry, the world of theatre and comedy, began after a lady we referred to as Christine asked him to accompany her to an audition for a play. At first, he never wanted to take Christine for the audition, but he later agreed after Christine promised to pay the bus fare and buy him chips. Over 200 people turned up for the auditions, so he spent the whole day outside. In the evening, Churchill jokingly decided to venture into the hall, and the producer, George Tyson, saw him and liked his presentation, and he gave him a slot in the play straight away. Ironically, Christine was not selected.
I found myself in theater, taking someone else to be auditioned, and eventually I took the part. I auditioned and I took the part. The lady who had taken me, alianguka, but I still love her. Christine, I love you.
Okay, butter.
Yeah, but the director had to do a lot of work to work on me.
Right.
You know.
His breakthrough came when he joined the Kenya National Theatre as a stage actor. It was during this time that he realized that his true calling lay in comedy. One of his first ever plays was Siku Njema, where he played the lead character Kongowea Mswahili or Msanifu Kombo.
It's a book called Siku Njema. I was the lead character.
Yes.
Alikuwa anaitwa Kongowea Mswahili. Kutoka Tanga kule Tanzania, ndugu yangu nakwambia. Jameni.
He would earn 300 Kenyan shillings for every show performed. As his acting career advanced, he got even more. With this kind of money, he relocated, and Churchill moved to a 800 shillings house, armed with a mattress, a kerosene lamp, and a few clothes. A kerosene lamp was precious back then. Theatre paved the way to KBC. When KBC was looking for actors, he landed a role in a show and he acted as a blind man.
Kizito.
Naam mkubwa.
Nilikwambiaje?
Kuhusu nini?
Kuniita hivyo?
Pole rafiki.
Haya basi. Nikupatie rafiki.
This was a monumental achievement, as it paved the way for other greater things. He joined KBC Radio, where he made his name as a sports presenter, alongside other presenters like Jack Oyo Sylvester and Leonard Mambo Mpotela. Churchill at one time acknowledged that KBC shaped his future and was grateful for the invaluable lessons he learned during his formative years at KBC. From KBC, he joined Radio Citizen, courtesy of the then manager, Fred Afune. At Radio Citizen, he played a character named Navdi Solanki, an Indian man who was always complaining. The radio show was an instant hit. Things had improved now. He was earning around 15,000 Kenya shillings a salary. And he also relocated to a new place. At this time, he moved to Kinoo. At that moment, the local scene was dominated by the likes of the late Ojwang of Vitimbi and Vioja Mahakamani. The tide changed in the late 90s when new comedy started coming up. Churchill's entry into the industry was in 1999. At the time, Kenyan audiences only knew about theatre, and so he started doing comedy in 2002. Few people took him seriously or comedy seriously, and will wonder when you said that you are a comedian. They will ask if you are doing something else besides comedy. This perception about comedy not being a career only changed recently when people fully embraced comedy. The growth of vernacular radio stations also led to the growth of comedy in local languages. Churchill was trying his luck in television, but it wasn't easy. As fate will have it, he got to feature in a show called Public Noisemakers, featuring Kariuki Thige, Joshua Maina, James Sangoro, and Mshamba, who later appeared in Papa Shirandula. Churchill was the props guy. His work was to carry costumes or clothes. With Noisemakers, he found himself in NTV's show In True Colors, which was a tough show for an actor as it was unscripted. Churchill often got sick when he heard that there'll be a shoot for In True Colors. Nonetheless, he managed to withstand the pressure. As a result, a Thepsian called Wahome Mutai, or Whispers, noted his potential and started grooming him. The name Churchill actually came from Wahome Mutai, after he assigned him a character of a proud academic who had a very long and delicate name, Professor Churchill Abednego Dionysius Herodotus Makoduto. Despite the length of that name, the producer Kimaita Magiri loved it.
Initially was Churchill Dionysius Herodotus Makoduto. So we had to call all those other names and remain with Churchill. Yeah. Yes.
In the comedy show Red Corner, the proud Professor Pashona was working.
Na unajua watu wengine wanaweza onekana ni kama wanacheka, lakini si kucheka, meno ndio refu. I understand.
His style of comedy was different. He brought a new and fresh style of comedy to the Kenyan airwaves and mainstream media. He then joined Ridiculous, a highly successful show in which he acted alongside Walter Mungare or Nyambane, Peter Kaimenyi or Kajairo, Maurice Otieno or Mdomobagi, John Kiarie or KJ, and Anthony Njuguna. The show became an overnight sensation thanks to the impersonation of popular politicians, including the then president Daniel Arap Moi.
The angel on the lawn asked him,
Ngoja kidogo, hebu weka kidole, ingiza, asanteni, endelea, mbili.
In the show, Churchill was one of the opening acts who got about 6 minutes to do his beat every week, and he soon became a fan favorite. When the ridiculous trio of Nyambane, KJ, and Tony toured the US in 2006, he accompanied them as a guest artist. It was then that he realized his full potential. People even suggested that he should do his own television show. During that period, Ridiculous' team was done with comedy, and they resorted to other things in life. This left a gap in the comedy scene, and Churchill took it upon himself to fill that gap and began a show called Churchill Live. He faced a lot of difficulties when starting this show, as media houses and advertisers didn't want to put their money in its production and would ask for footage of the show, meaning he had to shoot it fast. He was not alone. He linked up with a producer called Bob Nyanja. At first it was a challenge, as they withdrew every shilling from their bank accounts to fund the project. For 2 years, they were trying to do the show and had to beg people to come and watch it at the Alliance Francaise.
Then Bob Nyanja and Zoro Lukwiri, who I really credit for where the industry has been through cinematic solution, we decided to put something together. So it's Bob Nyanja actually who planted the seed of what you're seeing today. And I really salute him every single day.
It took them about 6 months trying to pitch it to television stations until NTV eventually bought the dream, and the show became an instant hit. He launched Churchill Live in September 2008. In its third season in 2012, the show changed its name to Churchill Show. Churchill Live was a clean, family-friendly show, as Churchill's vision was to create an avenue where Kenyan humor could flourish and be celebrated without limitations. He made jokes touching on everyday experiences and societal issues resonating with Kenyans from all walks of life. He was entertaining adults and also kids through a segment called Toto's Corner, and later he launched a kids-only event called the Kids Festival. The show gave Kenyans as well as other people a reason to smile and laugh. Churchill also invited guests and talked about current issues affecting Kenya. One of the most notable interviews was this interview with Uhuru Kenyatta, and also an interview with the current president of Kenya, William Ruto.
Ushawahi sota ukakaa hivi, yani sina pesa leo na umebeba pesa ya fadhe,
si ndio? Hiyo ni hali ya dunia.
Following the success of Churchill Live and Churchill Show, he launched an alternative stand-up comedy show called Churchill Raw, but this time round, he worked behind the scenes as a way of giving fresh talent a chance. Churchill Raw served as a platform for up-and-coming performers to showcase their talents. Despite struggling to get sponsors to fund his shows in the beginning, advertisers eventually came on board, and he sealed deals with big companies like LG and mobile telephony service provider Orange. Churchill witnessed the growth of comedy from an area that was unrecognized to become not only a career for professionals, but also one of the most lucrative careers in Kenya. The show garnered him hundreds of thousands to millions of fans on radio, television, and the internet. It became East Africa's most popular and hilarious TV show, in addition to gaining momentous international interest from comedy enthusiasts in the US, the UK, India, Germany, and the rest of the world. In 2014, a survey conducted by Geopol indicated that Churchill Show was the most popular show on NTV, with an average of 1.95 million viewers each Sunday. Churchill's impact extended beyond the stage. He used his influence to nurture and mentor upcoming comedians, the most successful ones being Eric Omondi, Professor Amo, MC Tricky, DJ Shiti, Eddie Butita, and MC Jesse. There were hardly any women in the field of comedy in Kenya, but Churchill gave various female comedians a chance like Zedi, Mamito, Jemutai, and Ticha Wanjiku. Through the years, the show won many accolades, locally as well as regionally. These included the Kalasha TV and Radio Awards and the Chaguo Latinis. Nothing is perfect on the human stage, and so is Churchill Show. There have been multiple reports that the show was underpaying comedians, but Churchill in defense said this: "Nobody talked about the money that they make when they appear on television. Plus, I'm using my platform to get their names out, so if you are to be honest, they should be paying me. When you appear on a platform I have taken years to build, people are not showing up to watch you, but me. So when I stand there and introduce you and tell the audience you are really talented, I am endorsing you. I am making sure you'll not spend 15 years trying to make it like I did." Even with these claims, true or false, you cannot deny Churchill's role in promoting comedy in Kenya. There are also other claims that the comedians only thrived on stereotypical and ethnic jokes.
The only people wale walistand kusimama masaa mengi ni Wakisii, because miguu yao kuna vile inakuja hivi alafu inakaa hivi. Jamaa anakaa hivi 1 hour abadilishi style. Na Wamasai wale wanakuja anakaa, hey, na bado naona tunasonga na hatusongi.
Churchill responded saying that jokes make sense only when they are tailored around experiences that people can relate to. This same tool is used by other comedians elsewhere in the world because audiences easily connect with such experiences. 2020 was a tough year for everyone, and Churchill's show was not an exception.
And fellow Kenyans, I want to inform you that the Ministry of Health has confirmed the first coronavirus case in Kenya.
Recordings were cancelled, following a directive by the government on public gatherings after the first coronavirus case in Kenya was confirmed. After the pandemic, Churchill moved his comedy show from NTV to TV47 in 2022. Production costs and logistics are some of the reasons that made Churchill to terminate his partnership with NTV. At TV47, the show didn't run for long. It mysteriously disappeared. But this year in May 2024, Churchill unveiled plans that the show will make a comeback.
Na sasa niko na habari njema hata zaidi. Mungu ametuwezesha. Kwa hiyo kipindi ambayo mnapenda. Hiyo mmekuwa mkisema irudi kwa television. Inarudi kwa television.
In addition to his contributions to comedy, Churchill is involved in philanthropic works. He established the Churchill Foundation, which supports programs aimed at improving the lives of vulnerable children and youth in Kenya. Through the foundation, Churchill has made a big impact in areas such as education, health, and mentorship, inspiring others to give back to their communities. Let's also talk about his family, his wife and children. Who are they? No one knows. Even though many have attempted to expose them, no one has really succeeded. Churchill is a very secretive man. He rarely talks about his wife and how many children he has. This is because he wants to protect them and isolate them from all the heat and pressure that comes with his name. Finally, during an interview with Nation Media in September 2017, he was asked if he was planning to retire, and he made a reply saying he's not going anywhere. He wants to be the Mugabe of comedy in Kenya. He will keep pushing even up to his 90s or beyond, if God grants him that permission. Doesn't matter even if he'll be performing for 3 people, he will still do it. As for me, I still make more content if you comment below what you think about this video, and also what you think about Churchill. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's meet on the next video.